The citrus grove was planted here about 4 years ago. And if you go onto Gardening Australia, you can see the segment that I filmed where we planted it with my friend and citrus guru, Ian Tolley. It is actually a fabulous segment to watch if you're going to plant citrus, because he shows you how you should actually bare root your young citrus trees when you're planting them, and the importance of only planting them into warm soil. So up here the soil's not usually warm enough till mid to late November, and down in town you shouldn't be planting till late October at least. And if you do that, if you plant into warm soil and you've bare rooted your trees, they'll power away. Now, growing citrus here in Mount Barker Springs is not easy, and there's a number of reasons for that. The first thing is citrus need good drainage, and this is Mount Barker Springs, so in a wet year our soil becomes very sodden. Now, I tried to overcome this basically by raising the beds, and I raised the height of the beds by about 50 centimetres, but what I didn't allow for is how much that soil would slump, and it's probably slumped down to about 20 centimetres, which is not ideal. I should have raised them a lot more and allowed for subsidence. The other thing they don't like is they don't particularly like our frost. Now, we go down to -5 and we get up to 6 months of frost, so that's pretty extreme, and it can knock them. Over time, they've got tougher. They don't like our wind, so for the first 3 years I had shade cloth guards around them, which actually looked ugly, I thought, but it did give them protection. And then the other thing they don't like is they don't like my salty bore water. They definitely don't like that. So you will see that some of them look chlorotic and not particularly good. The new growth is pretty healthy, and what I did plan to do before Open Garden but didn't get there was actually to treat them with chelates of trace elements to try and help perk them up. But overall, they've been successful. There's a couple that haven't done well. I've actually had one died because it got wet feet. I left a hose on. That was a bad move. A couple that are not looking particularly good are ones that I moved from areas where they were too close. They're actually too close to the deciduous trees on the southern side. But overall, the citrus are looking good, and we did start to get some decent crops off them this year. Now, I do have stuff growing around my citrus, and Ian does tell me off for that. I try to grow crops that aren't particularly big, or things that are going to bring in good bugs. So you'll see I've got chives on borders, I've got Verbena bonariensis, that's for the blue-banded bees, and I do have some chards. Well, they're more or less coming to an end. So this year I'll only grow low crops that are between them and don't give the citrus root competition, but I can't bear to have bare space with nothing growing in it.